how many parents out there feel like they don't see their children or they can't get to their children, even if they're right there, they're within reach, right?
Assalamu alaikum everybody and welcome back to Real Talk, Deen and Dunya. I am one of your hosts, Mustafa Talib.
And I am one of your co-hosts, Ayman Talib.
And I am one of your co-hosts, Abdurrahman Talib.
Right, and today we are on episode 2 of Real Talk, Deen and Dunya.
Yeah.
What do we got for today?
We're going to talk about our top 3 movies and why.
Just 3.
Look, there's an argument to be made about top 20 and I get that.
Yeah, that's where I am. I have top 20.
I think for brevity, which it's not going to be short at all, but I think just for people's sanity, we should keep it to a top 3.
How about we just list them?
It's that what's the Animaniacs song?
Yeah.
We might be, I mean, if we have time at the end, let's talk about that at the end.
I think there's definitely a lot of overlap with all 3 of us.
There's a lot of shared.
Correct.
I wasn't going to say like even just like, yeah, the shared movies, sure, but it's because they all have very similar themes or
we just like them.
Yeah, there's also that.
All right. Ayman, kick us off.
Okay.
Your top 3.
How about I just go with the top 1? We'll go around and then we'll go to the second and we'll go to the third.
I'm good with that.
Fine.
Okay. So my number 1 slot, all-time favorite movie, Braveheart. Mel Gibson's 1995 epic, 5-time Academy Award winning.
Best Picture.
Yeah, Best Picture.
The coveted
The
Crying Monkey Award.
So Braveheart. Number 1.
Gosh, I always, whenever I'm asked this question, I always kind of go back and forth between 1 and 2 movies. I think I'm gonna say Interstellar.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No way.
Yeah.
What is your original?
Saving Private Ryan.
Man, Interstellar knocked Saving Private Ryan out of the
But
mud.
it's like this.
It's very
Is it depending on when the stars align a certain way or?
Ha ha ha! Funny.
Okay, I got that. Wow. Okay, I didn't realize.
Wow. Funny.
It depends on my mood of the day. I mean, honestly, like we'll get into it, but I was telling my students about this. That it doesn't matter. Either one of those movies, I'll start crying.
Sure.
In both of those movies.
Yep.
Like I will and it's like one of them is like quivering lip and like keep it together, man. And part of it's like I cannot control myself right now. Please, somebody give me a napkin.
Yeah.
It's uncontrollable sometimes.
So when you cry, you grab a napkin, not a tissue.
Wow.
Okay, sometimes the words
Sorry.
escape me.
All right.
That's okay.
My bad.
My favorite movie of all time, and I think it particularly has to do with the fact that I was in film. I wasn't as a film major, doing the prerequisites, and I was just learning formally the knowledge and terminology and stuff, and seeing it being applied. 2010's Christopher Nolan's Inception.
And so far, I have to say, out of this, I have a shared experience with both of you for my favorite movie and for your favorite movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The first time I ever watched Interstellar was with you.
Aha.
2014. We saw it in IMAX.
True IMAX.
Beautiful 70 millimeter IMAX. Which,
In a true IMAX screen, not a fake one, not a FIMAX.
Thank you, Cinemark at Web Chapel.
Yep.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. If you're coming through Dallas, definitely that is a place to check out a film that was shot with IMAX cameras.
With IMAX film.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes.
And then the first time we saw Inception, we saw it together, and that was when we were in Denton.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good times. So, Ayman, why Braveheart?
A big part of why is because...
Also, just rule of thumb, technical. Let's talk to the mic.
Sure.
Yeah.
How am I doing?
Better.
Good deal. Braveheart is my all-time favorite movie for the simple reason that it is a story about freedom. Not freedom to do what you want, but freedom to get what's yours and to get what's right. And the story of Braveheart, you know,
How much of it was based on a life?
it's loosely based on a true story,
Right.
right? The character or the person of William Wallace is real, right? You go to Scotland today, you'll find his statue there.
Bald and bearded,
Yeah,
not long haired and shaved.
right? You know, it's combined of between legend and folklore, along with
William Wallace killed 50 men.
Exactly.
50 after it was
100 men.
his own sword
Cut through them like
Moses through the Red Sea. So, because it is a story about the pursuit of freedom, that you'd rather live on your feet than die on your knees, right? Or the other way around. Is it the other way around? The idea, this the simple notion.
No, I think you have it right.
Yeah.
The idea is that you don't want to. You want to stand up on your own too. I think
You don't want to
right.
live on your knees,
Yeah, and that's what it's like to feel under oppression.
right? So that's what the movie is. Okay, let me simplify it. I'll make life very simple. Braveheart is the story of Palestine taking place in Scotland. That's it. Okay.
Simple.
Cut and dry, man.
Okay.
But that's it.
And it's and the analogy runs very deep in that regard.
Like every single thing that we see
Okay.
in the movie, this in terms of how the English, subjugated the Scots.
Yeah, but you have to understand. It's like, remember, like Longshank's opening line in the film is Scotland, my land, and he goes on in the scene to literally erase the Scottish population by implementing prima nocta. Like, so you're literally
Setting the stage.
He literally he instituted a king's order for the brides of the lands to be raped by the lords of those lands. Okay, so and then when the story of course opens up with, it starts out with William Wallace. When you know the history of Palestine and like the little things here and there, like there's so many parallels. It's unbelievable. So William is 9-10 years old when his father and his brother, they get killed in battle, right? And his uncle comes to tell him that he's going to take him back to his place and raise him, and everything that his uncle Argyle said is golden in that in the few scenes that he was in. And William wakes up in the middle of the night having dreamed about his father telling him, your heart is free, have the courage to follow it. He wakes up and he sees his uncle Argyle watching over or observing a midnight or middle of the night funeral for his father and brother. Right, there's C. Campbell, Hamish's father, and many other men. They're holding fire to keep for a bit of light. Campbell is playing on the bagpipes, and so William asks Argyle, "What are they doing?" And he says, "Saying goodbye in their own way, playing outlawed tunes on outlawed pipes."
Right.
And when you think about Palestine, I have been to Palestine. I've been in the occupied land. I have attended a wedding where outlawed songs were performed. So it doesn't get much more parallel than that. Like you see it because, again, the very existence is an act of resistance, right? And so that movie is just littered with the
Tropes?
Well, no, because tropes has like, you know, the negative connotation. I'm talking about just the notion of resisting your occupier.
The English don't let us train with weapons.
So we train with stones. We're gonna train. You know,
The strength of a soldier's not in his arm. It's here.
No, it's here. Punch. Hamish? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really was like, okay, got it.
I should have remembered the rocks.
No, you should have. So like that. So and then the movie goes on. He tries to, you know, he wants to fall in love. He falls in love with his childhood, you know, the
Sweetheart.
Well, I won't call it sweetheart. They had a one interaction, but she was a very gentle, gentle moment when, you know, most needed. At his father's funeral, and she showed him a moment of kindness, and he always held on to that. He came back as an adult, found her, proposed marriage to her, but of course, because of prima nocta, they got to get married in secret. And then they're found out. An English soldier tries to rape her. William saves Morin from that moment. They try to make the escape, but you know the same English soldiers, they call him out. He escapes from that. Morin doesn't. She gets executed. You know, slit to the throat in front of everybody, and.
And there was that deleted scene that we had never seen before.
Yeah.
That kind of where he talks about like
the magistrate.
like he's like, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring him out by doing this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So he called him out. Right. Let the scrapper come to me.
And then
And then all hell broke loose because like you took away the one.
Learn to use this,
and then I'll teach you
to use
this.
And boy, he got taught.
Yeah, because he took away his one reason for wanting a life of peace, even under occupation. Right? You took it away from him.
Sakina.
So then, you know, like William learned the hard way, you're not going to have peace as long as you're living under somebody else's thumb. Right? And so the movie just can, you know, and just the not just the speeches and the fights, right? But just the parallels. So you have the Scots, the everyday person is trying to live a life of peace, but then of course they're going to get affected one way or the other. And so at some point, some things got to give, and so especially the men, they take up arms and resist.
They have to make a choice at some point.
Yeah, they take up arms.
What does he say? When they come to join him later on, after they go after the magistrate, he said, "Oh God, what does he say? Some of us are in this. We can't help that now,
Right?
But you can help yourselves go home. We'll have no homes left
when the English come through the Barras garrison and burn us out, and they will.
So khalas, like
it's already over. Like you already set things in motion.
And honestly, like for me, when I saw that, it was more like a thank you for doing this. Now you gave like we're with you all the way.
Yeah, you gave us the excuse we needed to do this.
Building allies. Yeah.
What does he say? Is we heard about what was happening,
and we don't want you Amadans thinking you can have your fun without us. So, and again, this is just like, you know, the beginning of the rebellion. Right, they're just taking, you know, the Scots are taking their Scotland back. That's their land, right? So they can live a life of dignity, and so, you know, and then the movie as it progresses, I mean, it's just.
And as you start expanding outside of this thing, you start seeing the influence, the politics.
Right, so that's what we're getting at. So we had the lay Scot is taking up arms and fighting against their oppressor, the English. The English are their open enemy, right? So that's pretty easy. Now things get messy when you're talking about the Scots who are who share loyalties and allegiances to the occupier, to England. Sound familiar, right? So it's like the nobles are there in place by the English to keep the Scots in check, and they're given just enough.
Where have I seen this before?
Right, right. You're so concerned with squabbling for the scraps from Longshank's table that you've missed your God-given right to something better.
somebody in the comments is going to either hate us or applaud us for the accents. I gotta say.
I don't know. So I mean, I know it's a long-winded answer. Why is Braveheart my all-time favorite movie? It is because it is it's a telling. Sure, it's based in history, but this is the story of history all throughout humanity. When there's an occupying force driving people away from out of their lands, they are they at some point they got to make a choice, and a natural, God-given, and every other kind of right that is out there drives people to. I mean,
to stand up and fight
to stand
back.
up and fight against your oppressor and aggressor. Like you look at the history, if death is necessary, sacrificed for the freedom of my family and the people of my land, then so be it.
Yeah.
That this is the mindset that those people have. They made that decision. You look at the history of this country, right? Our country, we born and raised. We talk about the American revolutionaries, right? Set aside all the two major crimes that our country was built on, the genocide and the extermination of the native population, and the enslavement of an entire people. At least around a third of them are brothers and sisters in faith. I don't want to diminish it or the whole notion, putting it to the side, but just the notion, because the theme what we're talking about right now is the notion of when you are when you are being oppressed, right? We can look back on it on history and say, wow, they were patriots because they did the right thing. But what did they do in their moment? They committed treason.
And treason is a matter of dates,
right? Famous saying, right?
Alexander Dumas.
Dumas, right? So, Count of Monte Cristo, right? Treason is a matter of dates.
Another fantastic film.
When you look at the Declaration of Independence, right? All those men that signed their name to the document, what were they doing? They were committing an open act of treason. And we say, put your John Hancock on this document because his signature was the biggest one. He wanted King George to see, I am rebelling against you. I am not okay with what you are doing. And I want to make it plain. I'm signing my name to it, and I'm making it bigger than everybody else. I want you to see it. Right? We admire them today. Flaws being there, but we admire that courage, right? We look at the American story, the story of how America was born, and we say, wow, they took a stand, they fought back. And it was over what? Taxation without representation, right? What about when your basic freedoms are taken away? Your basic dignity is taken away, And so it just, I mean, I've been told by, a number of people, a number of Palestinians, they're like, you watch Braveheart, it's the story of Palestine.
Right.
It's like
many movies represent, this could be another episode, but
we talked about how art
you look
imitates
at
life and life imitates art, and
right, and we talked about
specifically with the theme of like resistance, right? We all know the resistance story,
right?
And
you look at
in life.
We talk about the two major crimes that this country was founded on, right? The genocide of the native population and the enslavement of a people. The natives of this land, the Native Americans, what do? The ones that did not die of disease. What did they do? Did they just, lay down and lie down and take it?
No.
They rose up.
They rose up. They gathered their arms and they fought back. Right? What was the reaction to them? They were called, say it with me, boys and girls, savages
with bows and arrows.
Okay? They are backwards.
There's that propaganda we were talking about also.
And I know we talked about wanting to do a future episode. We're going to call it Real Resistance, Preview Coming Attractions. All right. So, we'll talk about that later. But this notion that the natives had every right in the world to fight for what is theirs. right? It's their land. This is their land. You attacked my family. You attacked my property. You're trying to take away what's mine, right? And anything that's worth having, anything that's worth loving, is worth fighting for. Otherwise, I'm gonna give it up. Why would I fight for it?
As Morpheus said,
Okay.
isn't that worth fighting for? Isn't that worth dying for?
See, when you hear it in movies, it sounds admirable. It sounds logical. But when you deal with it in real life, you say you start,
there's a thing that's been circling around for months now, right? You watch Star Wars and you sided with the rebels,
You watch the Hunger Games.
and you sided with the Resistance.
oh, so we're doing the real resistance?
No,
No.
not yet.
That's
not
coming
yet.
soon. We'll talk about it.
So when it's fiction, you get it,
Right.
but when it's happening right in front of you,
Right. Because you don't realize how much framing of the propaganda you're being fed, and the words that are being used to describe and characterized.
Yep.
So
Fantastic answer. Thank you.
we went way too long. This is just one answer. We still got to go over your two favorite.
no, I love it. I love hearing about it, and because Braveheart is your favorite movie, I actually have something for you. I have a gift. I have a gift for you.
What'd you do?
Nothing. I stirred the tanks.
Aha.
That's a long time joke in our family.
And don't worry, I didn't leave you out either.
Okay.
It's not nearly the same thing, but I got you something as well.
Why? Why, thank you.
This is our first episode, or first
Gift exchange.
Okay, first gift exchange. This is not our first episode. God help me.
Yeah. So those are just fun things.
All right. Here's
So explain it. Just so go. Yeah. So what is it? What is that?
It looks like a coaster.
It's a coaster. Yeah.
So my favorite turtles in a half shell, heroes in a half shell, and then speak friend and enter Lord of the Rings.
Melon.
Melon, which also
Hakuna Matata.
which also we love watermelons.
And Lord of the Rings. Lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
Enjoy.
what do we have here? It is eBay. Is this what I think it is?
It might be what you think it is.
Oh,
Careful how you open that up. On
help me
camera.
out. Can you do it? The way you handle that switchblade is
Careful.
okay. Yep, I'm right.
Something to add
Something to add to the
wall.
to the man cave decor.
Oof.
My God.
Is that the movie?
No, there's no way this is the movie.
No, dude, that's only like 2 minutes long.
This is the trailer.
That's
This is the
real
trailer, 35 millimeter of Braveheart.
Oof.
This is it. Oh my
Fantastic.
God.
How did they just
He
make a
accepted
copy?
my offer, by the way.
No way.
Yeah. And I found out why the shipping was the way it was.
How do
Why?
they get these things?
It's from Canada, that's why.
From Canada, where the Canadians live?
Where the Canadians live.
Wow.
How do they get these? Or how do they make
don't
copies?
know.
Or is this an original?
It's gotta be.
It has to be. Listen, he got it from somebody who got it from somebody who knows somebody.
Nice.
Now they went in to go get the men, who went to get the men, who went to get the men.
Thank you very much.
You're
This
welcome.
is very nailed it.
Those I've been holding on to the wooden coasters for a while.
Okay.
We went to Fan Day
Yeah.
a few months back.
Right.
And I came across this booth that does like laser engraving on wood and stuff, and they had all these different things, and I was
On
like,
site, or they
no,
just had
they
it prepared?
they had a bunch of stuff. They also
Okay.
have a shop and whatever. And
stuff.
Very cool.
yeah, so yeah, I was like, I got a bunch of them, and I was like, okay, I picked some with y'all in mind.
Oh, aren't
you.
you sweet?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Cool.
You're welcome.
Well, and on the note of resistance, I actually have gifts for you guys.
Oh.
Oh,
So I just got back from my trip to Bosnia. If you haven't gone, highly, highly recommended. Particularly, everybody from the world should go, but particularly for Muslims, because these are a people who were ethnically cleansed, or at least attempted on them, quite explicitly and literally, for their Muslim identity.
This was in the 90s, right?
This is in the 90s, right?
Early 90s.
Yeah, the Bosnian people, so after the fall of the USSR, all these different countries that made up the USSR and are under control or near USSR or whatever. They all wanted their own. They all wanted to rule, self-determination, and and that sounds great to everybody, right? Self-rule, right? But when the Bosnians said, "Well, we're a majority Muslim population, we want a Muslim state," and so the Serbians and others were like, "No," right? And they were massacred, they were genocided, thousands upon thousands in the same day. I visited the memorial. I visited the sites where it happened. I mean, when you drive and you see 8,372 tombstones all at once, right? That sends a chill down your spine. Okay,
knowing that they were
massacred. They
were
because
of their identity as a Muslim.
It wasn't even a battle. They were like, it was quite literally men left, men turn left, women and children turn right.
Ya Allah.
And then
it's safe passage. It's okay.
I've heard that one before.
Right? They killed 1,000 all at once. Is anybody left? And one person said, "I'm still alive. Send me to Jannah with my brothers."
Subhanallah.
So the people took up arms and they fought back, and ultimately, it's a shaky truce. It's a shaky peace, but nonetheless a peace that's there now. But Bosnia is an incredible place to go. So I got you both a little something in memory of the sacrifice that our brothers and sisters in Bosnia made.
See, now I don't have a gift for either of them.
Okay, so
Sarajevo.
that is a purse, and it said, what does it say on it?
Sarajevo.
Sarajevo is the capital of Bosnia.
And then Bosnia.
So those are for your
Herzegovina.
So those are for your wives.
Okay. Jazakallah.
Yeah, cool. And then the other thing in there,
Pen.
in the
Bullet.
My no way.
yeah.
That is cool. But subhanAllah, just also,
Oh my god.
what millimeter is that?
I have no idea.
I don't care.
Yeah, we're in Texas country. We're in gun country. I couldn't tell you what millimeter that bullet is, but definitely goes in a rifle of sorts.
Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the thought.
Yeah, the pens are for you.
Thank you.
The purses are for your wives to keep the people of Bosnia close by in your hearts, inshallah.
Thank you.
Now, moving on
Yes.
to Abdurrahman, your favorite film of all time, now being Interstellar. Explain.
We're not gonna do them past the first top number movie.
We might not be able to, just for the sake of time.
Let's just do the top movie, and we'll do like the top 20 list in one.
I don't know.
One recording later.
We'll see.
Another episode. Sure.
Maybe.
Go.
So let's see. I think a lot of what makes this movie that special spot for me has to do with the experience I had watching it. Mm-hmm. A lot of it has to do with that.
You're talking about like leading up to that point in your life, and then
no. I'm talking about the actual experience, like watching the movie
in
IMAX,
watching it in IMAX, and
in IMAX
the
theater.
the whole immersive experience.
Oh yeah. And in fact, they actually had a re-release, a 10-year anniversary, like
Oh yeah,
in the theaters, and
a couple years ago, yeah. Or last year.
we almost.
Oh no. So we went.
We actually. So we. I was like, all the shows are sold out, and then one day they were at our house. And I was like, wait a second, there's a showing, and I was like,
they added a showing.
They had a show, but it seemed a little bit off. It was off by like a minute of the original show, and I was like, I wondered, there's got to be something weird about this, something going on. I don't know. We bought our tickets. We went to the theater. And as we're getting closer and closer to the...
And bear in mind, we are husbands and fathers, which meant that
we had to
make sure that our wives were okay with, us leaving them with the kids and, all the whole nine.
We get there, and as we're getting closer and closer, there's somebody who is scanning their tickets and saying, they'll welcome, and they're explaining something to the people. And it seems like some people are very unhappy. And I was like, something's going on. Well, it turns out So that we went to the same theater that we went to go see it in originally 10 years before that, which is that Cinemark, the special, the IMAX, the actual IMAX screen, the true IMAX, which has a 70 millimeter projector and all that stuff. What had happened was a piece of the projector had malfunctioned, broken, something like that. And so they were still offering the movie in IMAX, but it wasn't going to be the 70 millimeter IMAX.
It was going to be a digital presentation.
It was a digital presentation, which means that you're not going to get that full, 4:3 aspect.
The full frame from IMAX film.
Yeah.
Negatives is going to be.
So it wasn't going to be the same.
Yeah.
And so we basically said, well, the reason that we wanted to watch it, we can watch it at home, and we have, he's got his man cave, and we have the 4K player, and it's as close as you can get on
for the home theater experience.
For the home, yeah, you can get really close to it, but it's not the same, but it's close enough. So we decided to get a refund, and we went to see some other movie, like just a fun movie, whatever. But the very first time we watched it, that was, that I think has a lot to do with the presentation of it all. But also, don't get me wrong, it's not like the story sucks or anything. Clearly not. It's a moving. Good God, it's moving because at the heart of it, it's about a relationship between a father and his daughter.
Yeah,
and what lengths he will go to
save her.
There's not
her.
much.
I don't want to say save her though.
No, protect her. Do everything you can for her.
Because the story is that the Earth is dying. It's no longer viable for human survival. It's just not sustainable.
Right.
Like within the next 2 or 3 generations, khalas, it's going to be over for the Earth. There's something that I didn't even realize while watching the movie, but I never the movie takes place, the majority of it, like in the beginning at least, you're in like farm country, but there are no animals. And it wasn't until I read the novelization or the novel version of the book that they actually explicitly mentioned.
You mean film novelization?
Oh, sorry, of the film, yeah. That they mentioned there are no animals. Animals are gone. Like there's a scene in the movie where they're at a baseball game, and the father-in-law, he's like, I want a hot dog, and the daughter goes, what's that?
Yeah.
Like she doesn't know what meat is,
right? Because
they haven't had it. And then as I look back on it, I'm like thinking to myself, it looks like there's something missing out of everybody's. They look a certain way, and it's because they're trying to show this. It's a little tiny detail, but that's Christopher Nolan. That's what he does. It's the tiny details.
Yeah.
So at its heart, it's all about a father and his love for his daughter, the connection that he has with his daughter. In their desperation, as the Earth is kind of no longer viable for humanity, it's no longer viable for sustainable existence. Humans have forgotten who they are. They used to be pioneers, and they used to be explorers, but not just for the sake of not just for the sake of exploration, but because it was a necessity. We needed to push further. We needed to go further to learn more about what was going on around us, and how in turn that would affect us. In another part of it, wars have stopped. Geopolitics don't matter when the Earth is dying, and money doesn't matter anymore, right? And in all of this background, a small group of people have started noticing little things, anomalies that have happened. That there's one conclusion, that there is a possibility of saving humanity, and it's through interstellar travel. And so once you start that journey in the movie, then the visuals start taking over, and the story is still up here, but the visuals start taking over, and like
it catches up to the
right. And so like I remember when we were sitting there in the theater, and there's a moment like, where are they right now? And he looks up at the sky and he goes, they're off towards Mars, 8 months to Mars. The next time we hear from them, they'll be coming up on Saturn. And he says it so casually, and then you go, and you're there, and you just see Saturn, and it's in the IMAX. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, from there, it's like the whole point of them going to Saturn in the first place was because they discovered a wormhole. So then you go through the wormhole, and again, it's through the IMAX, and you're like, oh my, what is going on? and then everything just layer after layer after layer. And then, I mean, you want to talk about the cinematography, you want to talk about the elements of storytelling,
the effects.
Yeah.
When I say the effects, I mean like that. So, you know, in an age when it's all
about CGI.
Well, yeah,
he's all about practical effects.
So practical effects.
So much of it was there's a lot. I mean, obviously there's CGI stuff, but
Christopher Nolan, Peter Jackson, Steven Spielberg, when they use innovative
methods.
Well, I was saying special effects, regardless of whether they're practical or CGI, it is to enhance the storytelling medium
experience,
right? It is not for the sake of
just using it.
You know,
it's purpose. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what I was going to say at the very end of it was the elements of storytelling. When we were like in middle school, we used to talk about the elements of storytelling, such as the conflicts, right? Man versus man, man versus nature, man versus himself,
right?
And all three of those are present in this movie.
Yeah,
right.
From beginning to end, cinematic masterpiece.
Beautiful.
It's it's incredible. And like you were talking about, so with regards to this is kind of a little tangent off of Interstellar. You're talking about like being face to face with Saturn, being face to face with all these cosmo realities.
Bodies,
right? So with 3D at home being a dying technology and presentation, I've been going around getting my dirty little hands on every 3D title I can get my hands on, including documentaries, stuff that was filmed for IMAX, and it's available on Blu-ray 3D, and it's just been, you'll find it on the shelf and different used video stores. What are those, right?
Blockbuster.
Yeah. Hello. So and like, online retailers and what have you. So I'm just finding different, so I'm going through them. They're like, and the nice thing is that because they are relatively short, only like 40 minutes long, so you just pop them in when you're on a break, but put on my 3D glasses, and then you have that same intro, right? The film goes on, and then 8, 7.
Oh, the IMAX intro.
The IMAX intro in 3D.
And so it comes at you like...
So it comes at you, that experience that you experience in the movie theater, you get that at home, and then you get all these spectacular shots in nature, recreating what dinosaurs would have looked like, recreating things in outer space. So it's just because of the documentary, it really is about the story. It's about what you're learning. And so the 3D element of it is not a gimmick. It is immersing you. Exactly. It is part of the storytelling. Get in there, be face to face with these realities that are in our world, in our dimension.
Anything else you want to add, Abdurrahman, about Interstellar?
It's gonna tug at your heartstrings. So many times,
especially that one scene.
Oh man!
As you get older, as you start relating,
when you become a man, and when you're a man,
when you have a daughter.
Children. I'm gonna be very specific. As when you're a man, and you become a father to a daughter. That scene in Interstellar, dude.
Yeah, the very end.
Forget the end. In the middle,
yes.
So there's the messages, the stored messages scene, right, where it's like they made a mistake. They made a mistake on their first planet that they're going to see if it was viable for human life, and they realize that there's been like I don't want to get into like the spoilers and all that stuff, but basically a lot of time has passed from the time they leave to go to that planet, and by the time they come back to their ship, and so they get all these messages that are stored. And so you literally see his kids growing up in front of him, and they're all kind of giving updates on life and whatever and all this stuff. And it's just like,
what happened? He missed his entire life.
Yeah,
missed their entire life.
Yeah, like one of his kids. He's like, I met a girl, and I think she might be the one. He's like, oh, and he starts getting excited, and then you see him in the next seconds or two, and now he's like, you're a grandpa, and here's a little. And then the next line is like, I'm sorry it's been so long since I've talked to you. Well, with Jesse and all, and you're just like, oh no, what happened? What happened?
Just a roller coaster of.
And then he's like, and grandpa
emotions.
just died, and so that's his father lines, and you see like the tear, and he's just like, I tried to do something to save them, and and he died not knowing what I was doing or whatever, and it's, you know, then you realize that he lost his kid also. Like, it's just
one after the other.
A lot. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It's very, very powerful.
It's a very just emotion. Just, I'm telling you, at its core, it's all about story. Like, even here's something I didn't know about until way later in the last like maybe year or so, as they were coming up on the 10-year anniversary, when Christopher Nolan approached Hans Zimmer to do the score. Hans Zimmer said, "What's it about?" And he goes, "I can't tell you much. All I can say is it's about a father and his daughter." And he goes, "Okay." And so the main theme from Interstellar, it comes from a track called Day One, if I remember this right. And that main is like dun 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 dun. It's right there, and it's all about that. Like, and if you hear, it's like it's almost like a signal. It's like bum 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 bum.
Yeah,
and it's how distant they are, but how close he's trying to be the whole time.
Wow, genius! And because he's a genius, my favorite film, Inception, was also written and directed by Chris Nolan. Why is it my favorite? It's again, as I prefaced before, when I was going through film studies and such, and understanding the technical and seeing it being applied firsthand, incredibly, to again enhance that level and depth in storytelling, just made it so much more for me, awe-inspiring. And what really got, like, what clicked for me was the hallway fight scene when the layer above being in the van rotating and then that world spinning. I was like, khalas, this is it. He's done it for me. This and he drew a lot of inspiration from other mediums that were out, but the original, the story, I think, is still original in how it's told, and in some cases, just, you know, the layering of everything. You know, like, oh, is this The Matrix? Is this a Japanese? I think it was an anime.
I saw that somewhere.
Right. And even if it was, it was still his, in that the way it was told, the way it was shown, was fantastic for me. Just the amount of layers and the technical, which I'm more obsessed with. You know, how do they do it? And watching the behind the scenes nonstop,
and showing the actual, like, the set, the entire
rig, how precise it had to be for it to function properly, to achieve that illusion. Yes, we've seen a rotating room in, you know, old films as well, but nothing to this extent, because it's just taking it to the next level. And in Christopher Nolan's, you know, fashion of practicality, making it real in camera, developing technology to make it achievable, was just mind-blowing for me. And the story ultimately, of course, driving it all, where somebody wants to get back to his family, wants to reconnect after being accused of murdering his wife. It was interesting, again, spoilers, but, you know, the main character being the protagonist and the antagonist at the same time, and you find that out at the end.
That the reason he knew that he could do this was because he had, quote, done it before.
Correct. And
these are like older movies, guys. I mean, if you don't know the ending by now, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. I mean, just
right.
Come on,
But yeah, Inception was just that film for me that just tied all these elements of immersiveness, and strong visuals, strong storytelling. Yes, he used some CGI in the movie, but it was just to enhance the visuals.
A quote from the movie that meant a lot to us when we watched it, and then later on meant so much more because we realized who was saying it. The dream has become their reality.
Oh yes.
Who are you to judge?
Right. I remember coming across this. The old man in the
He's
place
in
where
the
they
basement where they were
induce dreams, right? The people come and they come here to wake up, right? I found out that is King Najashi from The Message.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and the reason I only figured that out was because he looked
the actor
who played in the English cast of The Message is that man who was running it. And the only reason I know this, again, is just as you get older, you start noticing things. Again, from the business side of filmmaking, these people are on a certain roster.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in these particular productions.
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers
or typecast, and
or,
they're going to be
or typecast, right? So, like for example,
kind of role.
Jim Carrey was doing a lot of Universal movies. Probably signed a contract of some sort, and then all these Universal movies where he's in it.
Okay.
And so on and so forth. Disney, right? You find the same actors in particular, either Disney directly or sub Disney.
Okay. Disney affiliates.
Affiliates, exactly, like Touchstone or
what have you.
Whatever. And so this particular actor, and I think it's because Anchor Bay Films,
Anchor Bay Entertainment
is a sub of Warner Brothers. And so he was on the roster of Warner Brothers, and they brought him for that. I think that's my assumption. But yeah, when I noticed that, I was like, no way. It was fantastic.
Now I have to watch that movie again and just find. I was like,
right,
Jashi's back.
Right, he's back. So yeah, in Inception, the story, just being so powerful, relating to it, and the ending, right?
I remember when it finished and you see the thing and it's
did it topple?
The top, and then it starts to kind of shake, and then it just cuts. I was right.
No,
what? No, what?
Yeah.
What?
And so yeah, that was the big controversy. Why did he cut it a frame short, right? To show, was he in a dream? Was he not? And then there's
been a new thing about this that I saw recently.
Yeah.
And it was like, the whole point is it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And what I love about it, I mean, again, the story is like, it's a heist, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to get back home. That's why he took on this job. Yes, there's all the...
Strictly speaking, it's not exactly legal.
Legal, right. There's all this politics, businesses, etc. But this was the way, and the way it was just shown, right? And the constant theme of Chris Nolan in all his films is about the manipulation of time, right? That's his thing. And so with Inception, it's every time you go into another layer, another dream state, it's exponentially slower, and then more and more and more. And so just visually representing that with extreme high speed, slow motion, just fantastic, and just awe, just so much awe. That's why I love it. It's so good. And when I'm watching it, I do not want to be disturbed, especially during that hallway fight sequence, because it just brings me back over now 25 years 10-15 years now since its release, and it was just amazing for me. Yeah, that's why I love Inception.
So I think we should stop at soft analysis of the top film, and we can list our top 20 or something
20
later.
Is a lot, man.
I said just list.
Sure.
Okay, but I think this kind of gives a preview about how we have these conversations about films. I tell people when they find out about all my movie references, when I'm just regularly speaking and I just throw in a movie quote while I'm talking, I'm just to make my point, and what's your obsession? I'm like, listen, I watch movies the way avid readers read books. I analyze, I'm thinking, I'm processing, I am appreciating it for the art form. I am not merely consuming it for what it is. I am thinking about the elements on the creative side that went into making this story? What is this story being told, and how is it impacting our reality?
I was exactly about to say that word, impact, right? We know that, it's documented, it's archived, and it's still to this day making an impact. And that is the value of this medium, among other mediums too. But film and television, in its storytelling, in its whole experience of consuming it, immersing you to be a part of the story, whatever, just makes it that extra level, like that, just having that extra depth of connection makes it more impactful and everlasting.
It is like stories,
and that's why we have our favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, and I think the stories is what makes us human, right?
Yeah,
stories are what make us human, and that's how we relate to one another, right? And this is how we see the humanity in each other, right? We may see someone who, by all appearances, right, just on the surface level, very shallow level, they're in every way different from us. But when you realize, oh, this person in front of me had a mother or has a mother, right? This person grew up with this experience that I can relate to, even though we come from different cultures, different backgrounds, right? Like I grew up in poverty. This person grew up in poverty. I knew what it was like not having 2 pennies to rub together, right? I know what it's like to be a father. I know what it's like to have a son that I can pass on my knowledge of what it means to be a man to him. That hope, that dream, the legacy. And I'm going to take it a step further. When you are scrolling on your phone and you're watching the news and you see somebody that doesn't look like you, but they have gone through an experience that you yourself hope to never experience, right? Your child got killed. Your child was starved to death. Look at Gaza today, right? This is what making people wake up to their reality of what's life like under occupation, what's life like being under siege, what's like being starved, right? That's what's like this is the human connection, right? In telling stories and the and taking it to an area that we don't want to think about.
Definitely, I mean, the medium of film and television was used primarily as escapism.
Right.
People went to the movies and
they went to go have a good time.
To have a good time, be entertained.
Right. Makes you forget about things for a minute.
Right.
And just so that we're just for the audiences, like just for their knowledge, we still go to movies just to be entertained. We talked about how we went to go watch Interstellar for the 10-year anniversary, but we didn't get to watch it because of whatever the situation was. We picked a movie that we were both like, we're going to turn off our brains for a little bit and we're just going to have some fun. And it was a fun movie. It wasn't like...
And it actually... What was the name of it?
Red One.
Red One. Where The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is
was the bodyguard of Santa Claus.
Exactly. Like, so, we're Muslim. We don't believe in Santa Claus. We know Santa Claus is not real. This is good. I know.
What?
Put the kids to bed for this one.
Chris Evans was in the movie.
Yeah. And but what was at the heart of the movie? It was
about being good.
It was about Dwayne Johnson's character losing faith.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, yeah.
Right. My point though, like before we get,
and oddly enough, what Santa was telling him was exactly what he needed to hear to restore his faith. Right? To have that space to be able for him to be able to say what was really the problem, so that Santa could address it. Right. As opposed to fuel it.
So it's more,
or not let him talk, or just say, "Shut up, you're not supposed to feel that way."
It's more of a therapeutic session.
It was deep, and it dealt with, which was unusual for Hollywood, by the way.
Unresolved trauma.
This is unusual for Hollywood to tell you to not doubt your faith, be angry, right?
Question everything.
But what I was gonna say was like, the medium was meant for escapism.
Yeah.
Then now, it's becoming life imitating art, or art imitating life.
Yes,
right, and that
it's been that way for a while,
right? Because stories are not, for I think a period of time in our recent history, stories have not been relatable in some ways, and so it's like, why am I spending money? Why am I wasting my time watching this if I'm not getting anything out of it or whatever? Now the narratives are changing, even though they're in the world of fiction, but it's still rooted in realities that we all face.
So I'm going to take what you said and just take it a step further. Let's go back to your favorite movie, Inception.
Yes.
How many parents out there feel like they don't see their children, or they can't get to their children, even if they're right there, they're within reach, right? And how you be willing to move the earth to be able to get to your kids. And do anything and pull people from all over the place to achieve something so that you could get back home.
Yeah.
Right?
Your family is your home.
Right?
Fantastic. Incredible. That's why I love it. With that, I think we're going to wrap up this episode. This has been fantastic. Thank you guys for sharing your inputs.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this episode of Real Talk, Deen and Dunya. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If y'all did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that post notification down below.
Drop a comment. We'd like to hear your thoughts, and maybe give us an idea for the next episode.
Absolutely. I am one of your hosts, Mustafa Talib.
I'm Eamon Talib.
I'm Abdurrahman Talib.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.